bit of hubnut there. Morning, folks. It's Saturday, the 14th of March, in this year of our Lord, 2026. We're getting none of that this year. Anyway, I'm in the shed. It's only about 2 degrees outside because it's about 8 in the morning. And the plans this morning... Ooh, I need to wipe the lens. Right, the plans this morning was to go out on Spurt, but I stuck my head out of the door earlier and thought, bugger that. It's a wee bit... it's a bit like the Japanese embassy. It's a bit nippy, right? Well, as you can see, if you didn't know, if you didn't read the note that I put on YouTube the other day, I've managed to get a cylinder head for Phyllis. Let's put a picture up of the cylinder head. That'll do. Right, it's brand new. It's a third of the price that Suzuki UK were asking, but it's come from a UK Suzuki supplier. Work that one out. That a dealer can sell it for a third of the price of Suzuki. Maybe it's new old stock. It's taking room on the shelf, I'm guessing. Now, as far Jim, can you just put your teeth in? Start again. As far as I can tell, that's better. As you can see, this is professionally scripted. As far as I can tell, it doesn't come with valve guides. It's the bare head. So what I need to try and work out is how to get the valve guides out of the old head. I think it might be a case of warming the head up with a blowtorch or something like that and just drifting them out, because they're held in by a circlip at the top to stop them dropping into the engine, but in theory there's nothing to stop them going out other than an interference fit. I am suspecting that the first time we had a valve go on the bike, when I accidentally went down a gear and over revved it and the valve went tinkle tinkle, well, I bent the valve, I highly suspect I may have damaged just the tip of the guide. I'm not sure whether that's a big deal or not, but if I can get one out, at least I can measure it, because valve guides aren't a generic size, but you can get them bloody close, over and under. I mean, if you work on old British bikes or stuff like that, Harleys, you can replace valve guides left, right and centre. You can do it, and old engines, you can get them. And a lot of them are an interference fit, which mean they're going to need pressing in, which I can get done. That's not an issue. But I need to get an old one out and measure it, because Suzuki, believe it or not, for a pair of little valve guides like this, for a 125 scooter, want nearly 400 quid plus postage. You heard that correctly, £400 plus postage. I've actually seen on other sites, using the same parts from Mark Suzuki, the same part, £300 each. It's taking the effing piss. I'll give you a clue. If you want to buy a set of aftermarket valve guides for like an 8 valve GS 750 or something like that, it's about a tenner for the lot. Right, bench time. Turn around, every now and again I have a little wank. Anyway, right, this is the replacement barrel I got for Phyllis. This is a 125 from a Suzuki Shogun. The only difference is it doesn't have a little bit of a casting in it for the temperature sensor for the fuel injection, the cylinder head temperature thing. That's not really going to be an issue, because I can just fucking JB weld it in there or something like that. It's only got to sit in the fins and measure the cylinder head temperature, and just get it close up here. I've just rested the pistione there just so I'm keeping the same piston with the same thing, because this is the 150 I bought, even though it's accidentally stamped as 124cc. Naughty. Anyway, this is for something like Suzuki Van or GN125, you know, all the other 4-strokes that they do. I just thought they look very similar. I'll buy one because it was peanuts. It was only about 50 quid. That was 25 quid with the piston. Nice. And so what I've been doing some measuring across the stud holes, because this one is pretty much exactly the same as the one that's on Phyllis. Pretty much exactly the same. One of the oil passageways is very, very slightly different, but not chronically so. It's still going to work. This, if you notice, doesn't have an oil passageway. If I take the pistione out of there and flip this mofo over, you will see, look. I mean, in my excitement of ordering, I never even noticed that was like chronically different, but you know, I'm a twat, so. But yeah, this is the oil passageway, and all it is, it's crankcase pressure. Crankcake pressure. Oh, did somebody say cake? Lemon meringue pie or apple pie and custard. Oh, anyway, oh Jesus, I'm having trouble talking today. Crankcase pressure just chucks an oil mist up here basically, and it goes into the top end, and that lubricatios the valve train. See, we will get there. But as you can see, I have done some measurements between the studs. It's centre to centre. I used a caliper, and then I double checked it with a perfectly straight steel rule, etc, etc. And we've got 60 between those. Now, this is the same as the one that's on Phyllis. It's just from a carbureted bike, not a fuel injected bike. And as you can see, I thought this one might be about the same, and then we could run a 150. But there is, yeah, this 14mm difference that way. There's about 12mm difference that way. So yeah, it ain't going to fit. Now, if they were only like a millimetre out, 2mm out, I could have actually just had those bored. I know a lovely chap that can do that for me as a foreigner, but that is way too much, because if we need to bring those into the spec of these, because bear in mind, I need to fit the original valve head, etc, etc, because if you start frigging around with Van valve head and all this lot, then you're starting to get into a different length timing chain, possibly a different size cam sprocket, etc, etc, and you're just going down a rabbit hole. Then the idea is to make it cost effective and easy. So that cylinder's going to work, that piston's going to work, not an issue. But that's not going to work, so I might just stick that on Marketplace. Or if you've got a Van or a Suzuki air-cooled 125, just get in touch with me. Maybe we can sort something out. Bag of Haribo. So that's bye. You're no longer needed. I've been charging batteries as well, because I'm not sure. I think the battery that I've got in Spurt at the minute is actually off of Charlie, and that's Spurt's battery. Because I flattened it when the rectifier went. I flattened it, but I've charged that up now, and that's holding voltage, so that's nice. Another job I've got to do. Let's just move you out of the way. I've got my lovely little Russell Hobbs shed heater on. That is Boston. Today's beverage of the day, just a bit of coffee. Bloody lovely. Anyway, as usual, I'm dragging it on. So yes, the plan was today to go out on Spurt and just to go somewhere. I'm itching to get to the coast, but at the minute it's still a bit too cold for me. If I'm doing my social biking, and by social I mean like on my own or a couple of us, because I don't do big gangs because there's always a prick in it. I'd like it a little touch warmer. I want to be comfortable. You know, it's different when you ride for a living. You're doing it to put bread on the table, so you do it. So you get wet, you get cold, and then in the summer you get boiled. But you're doing it to put bread on the table, and hopefully you help making a better product at the end of the day. That's what it's all about. But socially, it kind of kills your social biking. So yeah, I've been using Spurt a few times. as a commute. Good fun, but it was like 8 degrees at 5 in the morning, so that weren't too bad. It's tolerable, and then it's lovely when you come home. So yeah, and he's running all right actually. He's pulling through. I've got a little suspicion that he's been having trouble idling, and I think the actual idle screw, the little adjuster at the side of the Charby Tinkles, is coming loose, because it's not that tight. It's under spring pressure and stuff. It's got proper spring in it, but I've got a funny feeling it's backing off a little bit. So what I want to do is just paint mark it and see if it moves, and if it does move, I'll just find some way of locking it down. Anyway, other news. Here, I've bought let's go into a blank canvas. I've bought this. Yes, it's arriving tomorrow, Sunday, and it's an oil pump, because I really need to change the oil in Slinky. I've got the oil filter, and it's dead easy on Slinks, because you've got your engine there, and then the oil filter is there. It's a vertical one up, so you can just take the cap off, pop the filter out, pop the new one on, new O-rings, slap it back again. It's a piece of piss, and it's very, very clean. So I bought this oil pump, because then it saves my fat arse having to get underneath it. I mean, to be fair, I've got the ramps and everything, but you got to get it up on the ramps, take the under tray off, which is only 4 8mm bolts, but you know what, it's an hassle. With this, hopefully I won't have to. It'll just go straight down the dipstick tube and succulate the oil out, and then you just refill as normal. Now, if that works well, if I can get 99% of that oil out, that's good enough for me. So yeah, so that's where we are currently. So I'm not sure what's happening for the rest of the weekend. I am out tomorrow. It's Mother's Day tomorrow. If you haven't bought your mummy a pressie and some chockies and a card and all that lot, this is your 24-hour warning. So we're out tomorrow. I'm over my sister's for a nice Mother's Day Sunday lunch. That'll be absolutely bang on. And I've sorted all the presents and cards out, so we're good. But other than that, I really want to take, like I said on the other video, I could do it today, because I'm waiting for Ian's Fireblade now to do his fork seals, because that was a job I agreed to do, and we had a little bit of a blokey deal going on, and he paid for us to go and see Jim Jeffries, which was a cracking night. I really enjoyed it. First time I'd been out socially with Ian. Enjoyed it. Yeah, top bloke. But I've been doing some googling in the week when I've had some downtime, and I need to order some special tools to do it, because his Fireblade is a 2012. It's fast as fuck. It's a ripper, it really is. But they were fitted with what they call shower BPF, if I'm getting that right, big piston forks. They're upside down forks, and they came in, I think, either 41mm internal or 43mm internal. But there's a special tool that you've got a normal cartridge fork, and then all your damper gear, damper adjustment and stuff is at the top like a normal fork. You can get that out. There's a little damper rod to take that out, but then there's an internal damper rod with what looks like, if you can imagine, the end of the rod looks like a box spanner type of thing, but like loads of dimplets. You need a special tool to go in there and crack that, to split the fork, which means we can then put seals and stuff in it. Once that's done, the seals and stuff should be a fairly easy job. So I need a special tool, but they're like, there's two sizes. It's either going to be 41mm or 43mm, and I won't know till I've got the fork. But they're 30 quid each, these sockets, to do, which I don't mind. I've agreed to do the job. I'm going to do the job, but I might need a spring compressor for the top as well. They're not very expensive, but I'm probably going to have to spend 50 quid on tools to do it. But once I've got the tools, doesn't matter, I can either sell them or I've got them, and then if I get a bike that has these big shower forks, I can do it. So that's the plan. But while his bike isn't here, I could work on the Aprilia, because I want to take the exhausts off, repaint those, because obviously it was rode in salt. Is that a correct pronunciation? Roding song. No? Yes, I suppose it is. So I want to take the back exhaust off because the pipes, the front headers and stuff to the rear are, I'm pretty sure they're stainless, or they certainly don't rust. But I painted the exhaust end cans. They were done in like a black, very high temperature gloss paint. Might have even been a Hammerite version of. And they're alright, but the pipes that lead down to the headers have gone rusty crusty, and I'd like to sort them out. I'd also like to drop the subframe, whip the carburettor tinkles off, make sure they're clean inside. I did run it out of fuel, so there shouldn't be any gack in there, and the fuel filter was perfectly clean. But I need to bench sink them again, and there's no vacuum ports on the Aprilia carbs. What you have to do, I think you've seen me do it before on a really early video on the Aprilia, is you put them on the bench, clean them all out and all that lot. But how you set that butterfly so they both open at the same time is you get something of a known dimension. So let's say you've got two screwdrivers. Let's have an example like these two, and both their shafts are the same dimension. What you would do is set the control carb up, just open the butterfly, stick that in the bottom, lay the butterfly on it, and then basically the carburettor that has the throttle wheel attached will be your control, because that is under direct control. So you'll set that, and then on the other carburettor you slide the other screwdriver with the same dimension shaft, or whatever you use. You can use a drill bit, you can use whatever, and then you set that second butterfly to that first one, and then when you open the throttle and all that lot, both those butterflies will open at the same rate. So that's how you bench sink those carbs. With a normal inline 4 or V4 or whatever, with the vacuum port, you would do it with vacuum gauges, which I also have. Like I've done the ZZR ones, and they're fine. So anyway, I'm waffling now, so that's my slight plan. I don't know what I've got planned for the rest of the day, to be honest. I might be a bit of a homeboy, or I might feel the itch to get out. I've got no idea. All week I've been wanting to get out, and it comes to the weekend and it's like, it's too cold. But I've had some quite significant periods of feeling quite lonely this week, and it's something we need to talk about, especially as guys. I don't feel any shame in it at all, because I get depression and I keep it hidden, but also I get quite lonely. I like to have someone to annoy, and I've felt that this week, and there's nothing worse than like waking up alone or going to bed alone or anything like that. It's just tactile companionship that you miss. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to bugger off and do the rest of my day. Have a great weekend, and hopefully, we're getting our mojo back a bit now. So when the weather brightens up, we'll be getting out, we'll be doing vlogs, we'll be going to places, and the channel will sort of be restored to normality. And we've got some pretty nice vehicles coming up as well, some specialist ones. Oh yes. Anyway, that's it. I'm waffling. Sorry it's been a boring one, but fuck you.
Well folks, a few weeks ago I bought this. It's a mini steamer. It's a mini steam cleaner. You've probably seen it on your Facebook adverts and stuff like that. So I haven't used it yet. Oh, for fuck's sake, I can't fucking do anything without it. Yes, as I said before, I was so rudely interrupted. This is like a portable steamer. You've seen the adverts. It comes with a wand. And it comes with like some accessories in here, which I suppose are for doing like tiled surfaces, etc, etc. And my brother-in-law's borrowed it to take off a bit of wallpaper. Let's turn it on, heat the water up. I don't know whether it just heats the water up anyway and then you adjust that, because I'm a man and I've not read the instructions. But what I thought was, get it up to temperature. Ooh, it's doing things. And then I was going to try and clean the Ooh, you fucker. Ooh, I'm turning that fucker off. Jesus Christ, that's coming out with some force. And it's hot. It smells hot, and that's on the lowest setting. Ooh, I might have to bring Spurt closer and see if I can clean some shit off. I'd say that did the job. All that oil on the front of there was absolutely caked on it from when he had his oil leak, and then road grimes got in it. I've tried wiping it with rags and all sorts, and it went a bit chain lubey, but that's took it off. I mean, you could say it's not as quick as a jet wash or anything like that. Well, yeah, true, but I haven't got a nose pipe, so, you know, I think for the jobs I want to do, that's superb.